everybody. Welcome to another edition of Chopping It Up with Uncle Sean, the podcast. I am your host, Uncle Sean, and it is a pleasure and an honor to be here today. Actually, today is Martin Luther King Day, MLK Day. Shout out to that brother for the sacrifice that he made and all the great things that he did and tried to do. So we salute you, brother, and thank you for your service. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is a group of individuals who, by and large, should be shunned from the black community. These people are Negroes, and I'm using that word intentionally, Negroes who call themselves conservatives. Now, most black people are conservative, I would say. We have conservative values because most of us, especially from my generation on back, and not these folks. Nah, no, we talking about traditionally. We were raised up with some type of what you call Christian values. Most of us went to church, some kind of a church, and we were given things that we were to try to live by. So certain things, because of religious values and morals or whatever, you didn't rock with. And those were considered like conservative values. When the conservatives lie and say that they're conservative now, they always talk about Christian values. Yet, the white conservative who claims to be Christian and every time they get a chance to do something rotten, they invoke Christianity and the Bible and all of that. But yet, these are the same people who would legislate against helping poor people. These are the same people who legislate against helping homeless people. They want to arrest them for being homeless. These are the same people who want to take away any social safety nets that the government provides. Most so-called conservatives are against what you call welfare or entitlements or whatever they want to call it, unless it is something that is allocated to corporations. They don't mind corporate welfare, but because they put a Ronald Reagan, senile ass, he coined the term welfare queen and put that on black women. So, even though all you got to do is look it up, most of the people who get welfare are white. But they put a black and minority face on welfare. And that's why ignorant white folks will sit up and vote against their own folks. And then when they get to starving, they standing in line looking stupid, asking for a handout. Now, the Negro who would call himself a conservative, 9 times out of 10, this dude is nothing but a ring-eyed rodent. 9 times out of 10, this guy or gal is nothing but a raccoon. That's all they are. Because all they do, the ones that have a platform, is get online and talk shit negatively about black people and the black community. But yet, a lot of them, if you even ask them, are they black? They'll tell you everything but they black. I'm a Christian. I'm a conservative. I'm this. I'm that. You know, I'm a Knight of Columbus. You know, whatever. But the last thing that they want to be is black. And you build your platform and get your money from talking negative about black people because that's profitable, because you are put up to saying the things that white folks can't necessarily get away with saying. And mostly, we're not listening to you. It's them that's listening to you. Because when I hear most black conservatives talk, first of all, they lie. They have these convoluted theories about black people and black behavior when obviously you ain't been part of the black community for a while because you've disassociated yourself. Once these Negroes get a little bit of paper and are able to move around white folks, all of a sudden ain't nobody shit but them. Yeah, ain't nobody shit but them. But yet they have no viable solutions. They never do anything to help the situation. All they do is talk shit. But they won't say nothing about white folks. They'll talk about liberals. And they might say, well, white liberal females, but they won't talk about no white men. They won't hold their party that they subscribe to accountable for anything. So that's what gives you no credibility and makes you very disingenuous. And then you have the nerve to always be trying to call people stupid or dumb. Or you think they're less educated or because you got some kind of degree or whatever like that. That don't make you smart. I know people that went to college and cheated all the way through. Hell, look at some of these politicians that supposedly went to Ivy League schools and can't string a good sentence together. Can't read off a fucking teleprompter. So that don't mean nothing to me. And you so-called black conservatives that sit up here and talk shit about the black community, you should be shunned. You should be booed and jeered everywhere you go. I'm not advocating for no violence. I ain't advocating for that. We ain't got to do that. All you got to do is shun them. Because sure shit stinks. The white folks, when they get finished with your ass, they break you. They break you. And where you gonna go then? You gonna try to come crawling back to the niggas that you don't like. And we ain't gonna take you back. Ask, what's that broad name? Omarosa. Where's she at now? Trying to find some rich nigga to fuck? Probably. Well, did she get my man money that she was with when he passed away? Michael Clark Duncan. I think she was with him when he passed away. So whatever little monies he had, she probably got that. But she's a non-factor now. She sold out, and when Trump had her collar and assed, escorted up out the White House by her collar in the back of her fucking pants, she tried to come crawling back. Nope. We don't want you. We don't want you. Candace Owens, We don't want her. Matter of fact, let me stop even mentioning. I don't even want to mention these motherfuckers. Even though hey, look, they got much bigger platforms than me. I'm a rookie here. I'm the low man on the totem pole. But so fuck it. Yeah, I'm gonna say their name. Fuck it. Shit. Maybe they'll get mad at me and mention my name. Shit. Shit. Uh, Jason Whitlock, punk ass. I don't listen to these people. I have to hear from other people who talk about them what they're talking about. Like this Anton Daniels guy, supposedly from Detroit. I ain't never heard of him till he was on the 5150 show with Corey Holcomb. And this man, matter of fact, I'm gonna be honest with you. That's the prompting of this, what I'm talking about now, because I saw this man. A lot of people were talking about the argument and who's wanted to fight and all that. Fuck all that. Okay, fuck all that. Let's talk about what that man said when he was asked how he identifies. Is he black or what? And he didn't say he was black. He said, "Oh, I'm a Christian. I ain't black." Once you say that to me, I'm done. What else am I going to talk to you about? You sitting up here blackening Phyllis's ass, and you talking about you ain't black. And you think white folks that ain't the first thing they see when they see your black ass? Sitting over there looking like Little Rail's little brother or something, motherfucker? Dog. And another thing, I just want to say this as a sidebar. If you hear two brothers arguing and one of them start talking about, I'm from Detroit or I'm from New York, that's a bitch ass nigga. That's a bitch ass nigga. What the fuck that got to do with what we finna do? Who has that ever scared in an argument? A motherfucker from Mississippi and you from goddamn New York and you arguing with him and you tell that Mississippi dude, well, I'm from New York. He don't give a fuck. He gonna tear your ass up if he can. What difference does that make? So when I seen that was another thing. I was like, oh God, this nigga's. I'm from Detroit. I ain't scared of you, bruh. Listen, bro. It's okay to tell people where you're from, but in the middle of an argument, that's kind of punkish. That's a cop-out to me. That's a scare tactic that doesn't never work, I don't think. Has it, I don't know. That's some hoe ass shit to me. So you wasn't representing Detroit because number one, first thing you said was you ain't black. Detroit's a black city. You ain't black though. And I doubt you live in the city. I doubt it. Because you think you better than all the black people. So you live out where people who think they better than everybody live. I'm willing to bet. But the conservative black Negro that tells you he's conservative, basically what he's saying is, I vote Republican. I don't like you other black people. I look down on you guys because I've managed to secure myself a bag. So now I'm over here with them. Or trying to be. I'm trying to be over here with them. So if that's what it is, why don't you just say that? Instead of acting like you give a damn about the black community. Stop talking about the black community. You don't give a fuck. You escaped. You ran for your life. Soon as you got a few dollars, I'm out. I can't fuck with y'all no more. Y'all ain't shit. Okay, cool. And it's the same, and this is how destructive these type of niggas is. When you start talking about reparations, they talk against it. That to me is some of the most self-hating, sabotage, raccoon, Steven from Django shit that I've ever seen in my life. I hate people that do that. If you don't want your portion of the reparations that is owed to us for building this country, then you don't have to accept yours. Donate yours to a white charity. Give it to, oh, boy, I'll get myself in so much trouble. Oh, you know what, man? I don't know. Sometimes I think I should not say stuff, but anyway, just give your portion. Why talk against everybody else getting it? If you don't want reparations, or if you don't feel like you deserve reparations, then don't try to sabotage somebody else getting it, or wishing, you hope and pray they don't get it. You might as well just be a white person, a racist white person. Because whether you like it or not, the wealth of this country was built on the backs of slaves. As a descendant of the slaves, we were mistreated to the point to where we were held back. We were uneducated, or not allowed to be educated for many, many years. Then we were miseducated, undereducated, redlined. We were locked out of working certain jobs, being in certain fields, living in certain neighborhoods, all because of our skin color and because of our status in this country as being former enslaved people. Yet, the wealth of this country was made on the backs of the slaves. And you can't deny that. So, what makes any of you think that we're not owed reparations? You just don't want to pay it because you don't want to see black people succeed. You don't see, you know, you think that we're inferior. Okay, we're inferior. You think we're stupid. Okay, we're stupid. You think we're incapable of running anything, including our own lives. Okay, fine. Give us the money. Let us waste it. Then it's over with. You paid the money. The stupid niggas got it. They threw it up the wild goose ass. It's gone now. But you know deep down in your heart that ain't what's gonna happen. Because if you thought that what was really going to happen, how it was really going to go down, you'd give us the money a long time ago. Just so we shut the fuck up. Just so we couldn't bring it up no more. But what you're afraid of is the ones of us who will take whatever little monies we get and pool it together, or on our own, build businesses, and maybe even move somewhere away from you people and begin to thrive. See, let me tell you something. The black conservative and the white conservative and the white liberal, none of these people like black happiness or achievement. Have you ever noticed that when black people get together and are having a good time and not bothering anyone, not causing a ruckus, there's always some white person that has to come over and see what the hell's going on over here? and want to try to make some kind of a problem out of it, out of nothing, out of black people having a good time. And that's what these black conservatives, that's part of their job, is to report black happiness. Report back to massa. They over there having fun. They over there making some money. And you do that by getting on your pedestal, your and talking shit. And really, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. If you want to vote Republican, go ahead. But why do you have to talk down on black people when you ain't even claiming us? When you've removed yourself from the neighborhood, you don't really probably hang around any black people because most black people couldn't stand your ass. Or you'd end up getting the shit slapped out of you half the time for stuff that come out your mouth. But what do I know? I'm just another ignorant black person that don't know nothing. But I guarantee you this. I'm well-rounded. I can talk to a homeless person. I can talk to a factory worker. I can talk to a nurse, a doctor. I can hold conversations with lawyers. I can hold conversations with business people. I and most other black people that I know who don't consider themselves to be conservatives can hold conversations with anyone and will not embarrass themselves anywhere, no matter what kind of function it is or whatever. So when you hear these punk ass Negroes always talking down on black people and talk about, yeah, do we have some degenerate things in our culture? Yes, we do. We do. But so does everyone else. But you don't point their shit out. You see, for some reason, 13% of the population seems to get 80% of the attention. That don't even make no motherfucking sense. But to the black conservative, I'll say this. We don't need you. We don't want you. We really don't want to hear your punk ass opinion. Just go over there and talk to them white folks. Don't come into black spaces spewing your garbage. Because most black people are conservative with our views. But we don't go for that conservatism shit. If you don't know the difference, then you the stupid one, punk. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is I want to ask a question, because you know I like to ask questions. Huh? The question that I want to ask, is there a such thing as a good police officer?
What?
Is there a such thing as a good police officer? Now, I know y'all like Uncle Sean. Of course there are good police officers. Where? Where? Where they good at? Now, I'm not going to sit up here and say that police officers from time to time don't do something good. Have they pulled somebody out of a burning car, or have they responded and maybe stopped a crime by accident, because they usually come after the crime is committed. But I mean, I'm just saying, police officers have done good things. They've ran into buildings and saved people, and you know, maybe performed CPR, or maybe delivered a baby. I'm sure there's thousands of incidents where you could point out that a police officer did something good. But I think there's even more incidents where you can say they did something that was bad or even illegal. As a black youth growing up on the northwest side of Detroit, I saw the police do things all the time that I thought was terrible. I myself, walking down the street, have been pulled up on by the cliche that Ice Cube say, black police showing out for the white cop, and have been slapped upside the head. Yeah. I walked past an alley and saw several cops beating the shit out of a brother. I've seen a lot of things. I saw a cop plant some drugs on two white people. Looking out my window and saw that years ago. I seen them do it. Yeah, they did that to white people. Now, the reason why I asked is there any good cops is because I know every cop doesn't beat up people for no reason or look for a reason to shoot an unarmed black person or white person or Hispanic person. I know that every cop does not plant drugs on people just to make a case, just to look like they doing something. I know that every cop doesn't pull people over just because they see a black person in a nice car or they see a black person in a raggedy car. I know that all of them don't do these heinous acts that I could keep going down the list. But they all witness it. They all know about it. They all talk about it. When an officer commits a crime, there are other officers around. And they don't say anything or do anything. And to me, if you're going to sit up and watch one of your fellow coworkers commit crimes all day, every day, it is hypocritical for you to arrest anybody. You got a hell of a lot of nerve to arrest somebody for committing a crime when your partner commits a crime or several crimes in front of you every damn day. And you say nothing. You do nothing. I think that's so hypocritical, and I think that's the reason why a lot of people don't respect the law. Now we're in the age of the camera, where there's a camera everywhere, and a cop will commit a crime and then tell you he didn't do it. Still. Oh no, what you saw you didn't see. Well, let's see. I saw a man holding his hands up with nothing in his hands, and then I saw you blast him. But you didn't see what happened before that. I don't give a fuck what happened before that. What happened where he's got his hands up and you still decided to have to shoot him? You had a man sit up with another man, got him cuffed on the ground, laying on his stomach. The criminal cop puts his knee on the back of the guy's neck until he's dead. And the other officers are standing there making sure nobody can get to him to save him. All criminals. You know damn well you ain't supposed to have your neck on your knee on the back of nobody's neck. No longer than it would take to put the cuffs on. If you do it even then. I don't think you should be doing that. Unless you're trying to kill somebody. And then you got individuals, usually white, talking about well, the knee didn't kill George Floyd. It was drugs in his system. Okay, all right. That what you say? I challenge any of you white folks who don't have no drugs in your system. I'll meet you somewhere and I'll put my knee on the back of your neck for 9 minutes and let's see how you come out of it. And we can put money up or whatever. If you come out of it just totally fine, then I'll pay you whatever money that we agree to. Let's see how that works. Because I think that anybody who would say that, I wouldn't give a damn if he just snorted 8 lines of coke right in front of the officer, and then the officer put the cuffs on him and put his neck. The drugs didn't kill him, because I doubt that he would have died without that knee on the back of his neck. And even if he was gonna die, why do you have to expedite it? What makes you think you got the right to expedite somebody's death? And if you're a cop and you sit up and watch other police officers do crimes, how can you sit up and call yourself a good cop? Most of you cops are afraid of the other cops. If you go and tell, because Officer O'Reilly's a racist bastard, and every day he pulls over black people and gives them tickets and tries to arrest them for nothing, and you riding in the car with him every day, standing on the other side of the car with your hand on your pistol, knowing that this motherfucker's wrong as 2 left shoes, and he tries to escalate every pullover that he does of a black person or a Hispanic person or whatever, anybody who ain't white or some even the white people. And you don't say nothing to him, you don't do nothing about it, because you scared. Or you down with the get down, which is more likely. You're complicit in acts of crime. You're complicit in criminal behavior. But yet, you sitting up here acting like you want respect for being a police officer. You want the people in the community to look at you like, oh, he's a police officer. Give him a free donut. Let him get some coffee for free. You want to walk into the store and get your little chips and pop for free because you're a police officer and, oh, I patrol the neighborhood. You terrorize the neighborhood. You and your buddies. And you can't call yourself a good cop if you're sitting up there watching crime being committed by fellow cops. And you ought to be ashamed of yourself. See, I remember when I was a young dude, and my father, he wanted me to become a police officer. He had a female police officer friend, and she came over to the house to try to recruit me, and I told her straight up. I said, Miss, I said, officer, lady, miss, ma'am, I can't be a police officer. She said, why not? I said, well, first of all, a lot of my friends commit crimes. And I can't say, listen, I know me. Let's say I go into a drug house and there's Hundreds of thousands of dollars laying around. I can't say I ain't gonna not take some of that money. Just being honest. It's dope money. I'm gonna go take it to the property room so some other motherfucker can steal it like they do. Listen, I have had things stolen from me and had the police call me and tell me they had my stuff. And when I get down there, they don't have my stuff. I've had that happen to me. Yeah. Somebody be stealing out the property room. You think if you think you think if you turn in uh you think if you find $50,000 of dope money in the dope house and you the good cop and you turn it all in, you think that shit gonna be the shit? When you go to the property room, they're gonna be like, "Oh, good catch! You caught $40,000." No, it was 50. No, no, we got a ticket here saying it was $40,000. We counted it. It was $40,000. See, you the dummy that didn't get no money. So since I know that I would probably take some money, I knew I shouldn't be no cop. And, you know, some of you know that you're racist. Some of the cops, they know that they hate black people and they become cops for that reason. Instead of saying, no, I don't want to be a cop because I don't want to deal with those people. No, 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 no. See, a lot of them cops that they put in the inner city, they never grew up around, they grew up way out somewhere where there were no black people. So the only thing they know about black people is on TV, on movies. And if they do come across black people and they get to talking out the side of their neck and they get their ass whooped and they figure out, I can't whoop the average black dude. But if I become a police officer and put that badge on and they let me carry a gun and a nightstick and a taser and mace, and I can call for backup, I can go out here and run roughshod over these people. See, what I think is, I think you should have to live in this, at least in the same city that you police in. So if you want to work in the city of Detroit, you should have to live in the city of Detroit. If you want to be a police officer in the city of Lansing, you should have to live in the city of Lansing. Now, they shouldn't be able to tell you what neighborhood you're going to live in or whatever, but live in that city. Because I think that if you are somewhere where you might walk to the store up at the corner, or you might drive over to the local Home Depot and run into people that you may or may not have mistreated for no good reason, you should have to look those people in the face. And if you are a police officer and you sit up and watch your partners and your colleagues commit crimes, and you even write reports up co-signing the criminal activity, because lying to get somebody arrested is a crime. Planting drugs on somebody who didn't have any is a crime. Shooting unarmed people is a crime. I think if you shoot somebody in the back, unless they got a gun in their hand and they're running something, you that's the most cowardly thing you can do is shoot somebody in the back. Once you cuff somebody up, you don't need to knee them in the neck no more. You don't need to beat them. Some of your fellow cops wait till they handcuff somebody and then beat the shit out of them while they're handcuffed. That's a crime, or it should be. It's definitely cowardly. Are most cops cowards? Deep down in their heart? Are they? They do cowardly things. Shooting an unarmed person is a cowardly act. Especially if you shoot them in the back. Or shoot them while they're already handcuffed. That is so cowardly. You see these arrests online where there's 15, 20 cops trying to arrest one person. Everybody sticking their foot in there, punching and kicking. Cowards. Ravenous dog acting cowards. And you call yourself a good cop because you didn't do it. But you sat up and had a beer with the same motherfuckers after work. You went over to the house and had barbecue with them. And played with his little ugly ass kids. Hell, some of y'all black police officers be getting treated bad at the station. You get racially ridiculed. And you don't do nothing about it. Because you scared. Yeah, they call you out your name. They leave things near your locker, nooses and whatnot. I be hearing about stuff. I know people that's cops. And you don't do nothing about it because you're scared. And then if you do do the right thing and tell, hey, I was riding with Jones the other day and he, planted some dope on that guy that we brought in here and that wasn't right. And now guess what the police gonna do? They gonna threaten you. And then when you call for backup, they not gonna come. Because you told on them for committing crimes. And that's the police force in America. You even got police gangs. I heard the LA County Sheriff's Department got a police gang. I'm sure they ain't the only one. They just got caught. Wait a minute. Atlanta, didn't they have what they call them, the Red Dog or something, where they was fucking over folks? All these, we had in Detroit, we had the Big Four. Back in the day, the squad, they come up and just kill you. Just beat you to death. Yeah. So the police department is rotten from the inside out. And the good cops, what happened is they come in with good intentions. But like a pastor that I know told me, he said the pathway to hell is lined in good intentions. Yep. I done went a little long today, but this is actually MLK Day, Martin Luther the King Day. So, I just wanted to come on here and just talk about a few of these things, these issues. And I hope you've enjoyed chopping it up with Uncle Sean. And I want you to know that this podcast was written, produced, performed, directed, arranged, and funded by Uncle Sean, and I'm Uncle Sean. And y'all have a good day.